Hi, I'm Stan Watchous, Pioneer Ridge Athletic Director. I appreciate you getting online here and attending to this parent meeting for our activities here at Pioneer Ridge. Our principal is Linda Meisner. Our associate principal is Mr. Dave Webb. They're both big supporters of our activities, and we're very fortunate to have them in our leadership positions here at Pioneer Ridge. Monica Purbeck is our counseling and athletics administrative assistant. Monica is a great place to start if you have questions or concerns about our activities. Monica's direct office phone number is 913-856-3651. The purpose of this online meeting is to start communicating so that your son or daughter can have the most enjoyable, rewarding, and productive season possible in Pioneer Ridge activities. Our priorities are the safety of all our participants and spectators, learning and skill development of our participants, successful participation for all participants, and the fun factor for all our participants. Our philosophy of activities and athletics here is to compete with schools of comparable status and capability in our league and region for the maximum educational benefit of our and our opponents' student athletes in a spirit of friendly amateur competition. Our coaches will always attempt to win games within the framework of our priorities and philosophy with class and exemplary sportsmanship. Now, just a word about why we do things the way we do. We are a dues-paying member of two governing bodies for Kansas activities. One of them is called the Kansas State High School Activities Association, or KSHSAA, and the other one is the Frontier League of schools in this area. I think they both do a great job of keeping interscholastic activities safe and fair for our participants. Both organizations also encourage everyone involved to keep school activities in perspective, which we here at Pioneer Ridge believe is very important. So if you've ever wondered why we have the number of games we have, the number of matches or meets, or why the length of the quarters is the way it is, it's because we have restrictions on who can play, who can coach, and we have lots of rules and regulations about our contest because we're operating within the parameters of these governing bodies, and we must do that if we want to continue being members. And to be a member of these governing bodies is important because most of the schools in Kansas won't schedule games with a school who's not a member of the KSHSAA, at least. Some of the principles published by the KSHSAA that struck me as especially worthy and appropriate are these: that student participation in interscholastic activity programs and competitions is a privilege and not a right. The KSHSAA also believes that participation in interscholastic programs promotes student academic achievement. Participation in interscholastic activities also promotes good citizenship, improves life skills, and builds character. And finally, the KSHSAA has published that honesty, integrity, and sportsmanship are fundamentals upon which all interscholastic programs should be based. Now, some basic KSHSAA rules that we'd like for our parents to keep in mind are things like it's a rules violation for your son or daughter to participate on a team outside of their school team's program during the school team season. And that can even include things like fun runs during the cross country or the track season. It's also a rules violation in basketball and football to participate on a team outside of your school team's program during your school team season, but then either before or after the school team season, it can be a violation if your son or daughter participates on a team that has more than half of their normal field or court school team on it. Now there are exceptions to that rule at times throughout the year. If you need more information about when it is and is not okay for your son or daughter to participate on a team outside of their school team, we can give you that information. There are some exceptions during the school year, and then in the summer, the Saturday before Memorial Day through Labor Day, those restrictions are lifted. So if you need more information about, please don't hesitate to contact your coach, myself, and we can give you all the details and gather any additional information you may need. Please be aware of the concussion information form in the physical and waiver packet that every participant must turn into the office before they can participate in any way in an activity, even practice. By state law, that the physical and waiver packet must be turned in, and the concussion information form in the physical and waiver packet must be signed by the parent or guardian and the student athlete before they can practice. Then if a participant ever shows signs of a concussion during the course of the season, there is a protocol that must be followed before they can continue to participate. If a participant shows signs of a concussion during a contest, a coach or an official can hold them out of the rest of the competition, and they cannot return to competition until a health professional has cleared them. So please be aware of all of that in relation to concussion awareness and concussion protocol. In regard to rides to practice or a contest, we really prefer that the participants ride team transportation, school-provided team transportation to practices and competitions. If a participant is riding home with someone other than their parent or legal guardian, we must have a signed, dated consent note from their legal parent or guardian for them to do that. And that's especially applicable after contests, after competitions. And then as a parent or guardian, if you'll be taking your son or daughter home after a competition, please sign them out with the coaches. The coaches will have sign-out sheets, so please sign them out. Okay, there is a pamphlet available in our athletics department in the school office. It's called the Parent-Coach Communication pamphlet. It outlines the USD 231's philosophy of parent-coach communication. Looks like this. Please be familiar with this for future reference. If you need one, we can get you one. But it is our starting point for parent-coach communication. And in particular, we would ask that parents please don't try and communicate with our coaches just before a competition or right after a competition, that's a time, that coaches can be feeling a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion, and it's really just not the best time to try and communicate with one of our coaches. So if you do feel like you need to communicate with one of the coaches, you want to communicate with them, please give it at least 24 hours, or at least overnight or 24 hours before you attempt to communicate with one of our coaches after competition. Alrighty then, there's another piece of information here that I like to recommend to parents. It's I call it the NAIA Champions of Character Program card, and we've kind of adapted it to our activities here at Pioneer Ridge. On the back of the card, they talk about things that parents can do before participation, during participation in competition, and after participation that can really help your son or daughter and you in your relationship, and it can really make the activity educational and fun, and keep the focus, the perspective, kind of where it should be. My son and daughter both went to all 12 years of their education here at Pioneer Ridge and GEHS, and these reminders were good for me also, in my relationship with them as they competed in interscholastic activities. If you need supplemental insurance, you're not sure if your family health insurance policy will cover your son or daughter if they were to get hurt in a Pioneer Ridge activity, you can go to the district website, www.usd231.com, go to the home page, go to the parent information tab and the student insurance tab, and there will be information about insurance for your son or daughter. It's supplemental insurance, it's inexpensive, and it's just geared for the situation where your son or daughter might get hurt while they're participating in a school activity. Well, I want to thank you for logging in here and getting on the website and attending to this parent information meeting. The head coach of the activity that your son or daughter may be interested in is also available. We really are proud and have a lot of excitement and pride in our students and our programs here, and we really appreciate the parent support. We're looking forward to another great season here in Pioneer Ridge activities. Thanks again.